Morning everybody, thank you for coming. We're going to get started. There may be a few people still to come, we don't know. It was 9 for a 9:30 start, but if everybody who thought it was 9 here and should be here, they're not. So we've got to say that bit. But there is, I don't know if any of you seen, there is a road closure as you come in, so maybe there is just a few stragglers. But we have got a few people signed on here, but we'll get going. So, first things first, hello, thank you for coming. I'm going to introduce each of us, and you have got a lot for your money this morning, so I hope you'll appreciate that. But I'll introduce myself first. I'm LJ Buxton, and I'm the Communications Manager for the Diocese. Some of you know, some I don't. So, I'll introduce each of us before we get going. This is Mike North. I'm going to get all the titles wrong, so I'm sorry. Who is the Children and Youth Leader? Manager, Minister, Advisor.
The other one.
We've got Steph Osman, who works for St Peter's Resource Centre and for the Centenary Project. We've got Graham Sandersfield, who is the Learning Development Manager for St Peter's College. We've got Jason Smedley, who's hiding behind the curtain quietly, who's the Communications Assistant. And Father Grant Naylor, who works for PST and for St Matthew's Carver Street, and Lizzie Lees, who's the Mission Partnership Development Worker at St Matthew's Carver Street. So quite a lot of knowledge actually, and we've had some fun putting this together, so you'll have to excuse some of us looking a little daft. This is to try and just get that informal thing going. We've had more fun doing it probably than you might have watching it now, I'm not sure. But we'll do that a bit. So,
okay, so the run of the morning looks a little bit like this. We never actually told you, by the sounds of it, that we were going to start at 9:30, so apologies if you've been sitting waiting patiently, thinking I could have had an extra half an hour in bed, which you could have, and we probably could have too. But in a minute, we've got a little summary of the 4 main social medias, and tongue-in-cheek, go with it. It'll be an experience. So 4 minutes each on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and Instagram. Then at 10 o'clock we're going to start asking the more important question why you're here, I think, is how can we use social media in our churches? Then after a break we have quite a big question, we think, an exciting question to explore. How can you use social media in evangelism and using as much method as you can online to connect with people outside our churches. And then finally, a kind of a sweep up the odds and ends session, is that fair to say, LJ? For websites, templates and other things. But we do have, at the 12 o'clock slot, a chance for chats and conversations, and questions can come out at that point. So if you've brought specific questions with you this morning that don't get covered in the first part of the morning, that's the point, to introduce those, and we're more than happy to have conversations and dig into things as much as we can and share the wisdom in the room. I think that is what we're looking at this morning.
Yeah, I think that covers everything. So just to reiterate, a lot of when we've done these sessions in the past, we've done them at quite a basic level. This is how to set up an account. We're not going to do that though, just bear with it while we just do an overview of each channel. So there will be plenty of time to look at how you can actually use those, all the features and the ideas as well that sit behind that to use those in your parish and church settings. I think that's pretty much everything before we just start with an overview of social media. I'm going to set a challenge though to each of the people who are going to do it. We want to try and get the biggest laugh. So whoever gets the biggest laugh for whatever they're doing wins, because I'm pretty sure I've got that bagged now. So, yeah.
Okay, but before that, there's this. Okay, that's the 4 that we're looking at. Were we going to do some stats at this point?
Yeah, social media.
So, to set the context of the day, we thought it's quite important to understand this is what we're talking about. Because our world has 7.6 billion people in it, the internet has 4.2, so that's over half the whole world's population is online. And there are over 3 billion active social media users, and internet users have an average of over 7 social media accounts each. I don't know if that is true for people in the room. Have a quick tot up. How many have you got? 1, 2, 3. Don't be so rude.
3.
I've got 2.
No.
I had a quick tot up and I have got 16 of those, but I only actually use 7, really. I've downloaded that many, but I don't use them. And that's not all of them, obviously. You might have others that you've not thought about. Here's yours.
So, there you go. The average time spent on social media, I'm assuming these are global stats, aren't they? It's 116 minutes a day. Now, are any of you, I'm sure some of you are iPhone users, have you seen the latest update that tells you what your usage is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it surprising or shocking or...
Shameful, yeah.
Do you sit, does that ring true? So I had a look at my weekly stats last night. I had a look at, and last week I spent 2 hours and 50 minutes on Facebook. This is just on my phone, so this excludes my tablet and my laptop. But I'll disclude my laptop because that's what I do in the day at work anyway. So yeah, on my phone I spent 2 hours and 50 minutes, and on Twitter I spent 1 hour 3 minutes, and on Instagram 24 minutes.
Is that per week or day?
That's per week. That's per week. So my morning normally starts out where my alarm will go off. I look at Twitter for the news. I then look at Facebook to see what all my friends are doing at that morning, and then I look at Instagram to see if Steph's in the gym. And that's pretty much how I start every day. So I'm sure you've all got similar routines. So 91% of retail brands use 2 or more social media channels. 81% of all small and medium businesses use social media platforms. The reason we put that there is just to show, that organisations really have a place on social media. It isn't just individuals, it isn't just for friends. So organisations, charities, churches, parishes, it's all a legitimate way to reach out. And of course, all social media channels are free. Not many other marketing channels where you'd get that. And certainly get the reach. And just to comment you even more, 90%, this is a stat from the Office of National Statistics, 90% of South Yorkshire households, and I'm sorry if there's anybody here from East Riding, but this is just South Yorkshire, have internet access. Now that could be via mobile, it could be broadband, but 90%, that's a lot. That's a lot. Maybe some people don't even realise they've got internet access, but